Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this channel and rather to this analysis, and thank you very much for your continued support in this channel. Now, today I want us to look at the Raila's arithmetic, running mate arithmetic, and I want us to use this matrix because Raila Odinga is in dilemma. There is a force from Kalonzo Musyoka for him to be picked, and there is also an equal force from Central Kenya for Raila to consider for Central Kenya for the running mate. Now, we are going to look at this very critical, and of course, I've decided to do a chart. We are going to look at that, the chart just behind me. But then, what has happened so far is I listened yesterday to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka speaking after church service in South Sea. And Kalonzo was saying that if Raila is looking for a Central Kenya running mate, then he is the Central Kenya running mate. Then there is something that is said very critical, that he's not just a Kamba leader. So he should not be judged that he's working with Raila representing a Kamba, but he is a national leader. That one we actually totally agree. Then secondly, he also discredited the Azimio Council that was formed of 11-member team, including Raila, President Uhuru, Martha Karua, Sabina Chege, Hassan Joho, and a host of other leaders. Naomi Shaban, I think there was also Naomi Shaban, and Abdi Nur. So that Azimio Council was the one that was to decide, or rather to nominate Raila Odinga's running mate. I think also Charity Ngilu is part of that team. But then, I also need to say that apart from that Azimio Council, or rather what is happening, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga have also formed another team, a group of experts that are working with a British-based firm to find a way for the Azimio team to get a running mate. And I read that article, I think it was at the Star, that what the president and Raila had done, they had tasked that company to do opinion poll so that they can also find out who can be the best Raila Odinga's running mate in terms of popularity and other modalities that are on table for them to consider Raila Odinga, for them to consider who is best suited to be Raila Odinga's running mate. Now, so far, the fellas that are in contestation for that position is Sabina Chege, Martha Karua, Peter Kenneth, and I also saw Equity Bank CEO James Mwangi was also added into that list. I think by the Nation team, they were doing an analysis and they also included the name of James Mwangi there. But there is also a pertinent question on who is funding Raila Odinga's campaign, or who is going to fund these campaigns. Very critical. But just to help us understand, because what personally I want to look at is one thing, the winning arithmetic.
When you do your calculations, because they are busy conspiring, who is going to be the running mate, who is not going to be the running mate, please help them. Help them to know that what God has determined, no human being will stop it.
Kwa Kalonzo na wafuasi wake, swala hili linaonekana kuwakosesha usingizi, huku madai yakiibuka huenda akachengwa na nafasi hiyo kupatiwa mmoja wa wanasiasa kutoka eneo la Mlima Kenya.
To stop telling the people of Mount Kenya region that Kalonzo is not a Mkikuyu. I am. Are you with me? Are you with me? If anybody tells you Kalonzo is not a Kikuyu, he's not a Madaraka, he's not, therefore the Kikuyus and the Tharakas and everybody else must get to be vice president or be president in order for this country to progress, please pray for them. Seen today in some reportage in some major newspaper, calculating the number of Mkamba voters. And even those Kambas in the diaspora, they give them a number. Now Kalonzo is beyond Mkamba. When they are adding the numbers of Mkambas, can they add the numbers of all the believers in this country and tell me whether I qualify for anything? Can you imagine a better, and I leave this to you, a better quality ticket than the one that, according to us, won twice? So how do you want my brother Raila to end up being president and his running mate twice is out? There will be consultation between the presidential candidate Raila Odinga, myself and President Uhuru, period. Okay, that is how we formed the Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Alliance. So, and we take into account the feelings, all right, and opinions of others.
In this video, I want us to look at the numbers because that is one of the key indicators in terms of who exactly should be Raila Odinga's running mate. And the matrix on there are two baselines that have been used. That Raila Odinga needs to maintain the voting base because in 2013 and 2017 he had an average of 44%. So there is a narrative, or rather there is a school of thought that are saying that Raila Odinga needs to maintain the 44%, then find out if Mount Kenya can add something into it. Now, let's look at this pie chart. And before that, I want us to look at very critical issues. Why? Kalonzo Musyoka is insisting on the running mate issue. Now, there are three critical dates. Let's look at these date timelines. Then after that, we are going to go into the arithmetic. Now, if you look at this, there is the 28th April. The political parties are supposed to nominate presidential candidates. So, like for Raila, the Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya political party is going to send the papers. Then the other side, William Ruto, the UDA team are going to send. Then the other timeline, and I want to tell you why these timelines are very important. Now, on 23rd May, the presidential candidates are supposed to deliver 2,000 names of registered voters in majority counties in the country. Now, if you remember very well, one of the thresholds for someone to be considered, rather to be to achieve to be named the running mate, or rather to be named the winner, he must garner more than 50% in more than 24 counties. Now, even at the threshold of you to be declared a presidential candidate, you must submit 2,000 names of registered voters in more than 24 counties in the country. Now, that is what is supposed to be done on 23rd. Then between May 29th to June 6th, IBC is going to name the presidential contenders and also the ones that are going to vie as independent. There are presidential candidates that will be presented by parties, and they're also the independent ones. Now, these dates are very crucial, and I want to tell you why. IBC have made a pronouncement, and they are saying that the presidential candidates that are going to be rather sponsored by political parties have until 28th April to present the presidential candidate and their running mates. Now, this is the date here. So, Azimio team have actually said that they will work with this deadline because, okay, by law, it is not a must that the presidential candidate must present the names of the running mates here, because you see, like, the deadline for the independent is this 29th to 6th June. So what is happening here, and what I'm wondering is this, this timeline by IBC to name running mate is working in favor of in favor of Kalonzo Musyoka. Because remember, Kalonzo Musyoka have insisted that they need to name the running mate. So what is here, or this is the trap, that if Raila is going to name Kalonzo Musyoka the running mate, if they abide by this rule, by this timeline by IBC, then they are likely to name the running mate. The trap was, they bypassed this date, they name running mate here. Now, if Kalonzo fails to submit the nomination papers here, his nomination papers here, and fails to submit also this one, there is no way he will be presented. Something that is very critical is this, by this 28th, Raila will be out of the country, and of course the conversation of the running mate might go down a bit because Raila is supposed to fly to US for, I think, a 5 days tour, or rather campaign tour in the United States of America. So Raila will not be in the country on 28th, even though this will be done by the political party, so he must not be there. Now, if the running mate issue, IBC are insisting it must be named here. The Kenya Kwanza are very comfortable because for them, they have actually said that they are very comfortable with this date and they are going to name their running mate. And I think it was a trap. If they agree to do it, they'll name their running mate, and IBC and the Azimio team are holding on the June 29th. My thought is someone might be working with IBC to serve the interest of Kalonzo Musyoka, because this is what Kalonzo wants. Now, I want us to look at the arithmetic, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also give this video a thumbs up. Click the notification bell and give us a comment on what do you expect, especially why do you think IBC are insisting that Azimio must name their running mate by 28th, while the deadline is 6th June. Between here they can name. So there's nothing law that is compelling them. Let's look at the arithmetic. I want us to look at the matrix because this is where the numbers are. Now, after the 2 months voter registration of last year, November, and this year's February, this is the numbers that Gema have. Kiambu has 1.4 million. This is Muranga, 630, and I've tried to round off 630K. Nyeri has 490,000. Kirinyaga has 380,000. Embu has 340,000. Nyandarua has 360. Tarakaniti has 230,000. Then Meru has 700,000. Now, if Gema turn to vote, then they have a total of 4.7 million. I was trying to look at what happened at the party nominations, the UDA nominations, and Jubilee are not doing theirs. Of course, I will analyze here why not. So, if you look at the turnout of 2% there is one thing. Maybe they didn't want to associate with UDA, or there are many people that are abstaining from voting. And I work with a hypothesis of 60% turnout. If they have a 60% turnout, the number of people that will vote will be 2.8 million. If Raila gets 40% of 2.8 million, Raila has a sum of 1.1 million. This one is in the event that Raila names Gema as a running mate. And I have tried to exclude the counties of Nakuru, even though I also know that there are many members of the Kikuyu nation who stay outside these counties. But that will also apply to the Ukambani vote. So if you look at it technically, what will make Gema to go and vote? In 2013 and 2017, 2013 they were going to help Uhuru so that Uhuru could come out of ICC. In 2017, it was an incumbent government, and of course, it was against Raila. Now, in 2022, the dynamics are changing. What Deputy President have actually informed the Gema Nation is that they need to go and vote. One is to punish the dynasties, or rather even to punish President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I find that a very dangerous narrative on his side, because if it is just turning out to vote against President Uhuru Kenyatta, it's very difficult to tell a son to go and vote so that you can punish the father. And that is not going to bring a very good turnout even on his favor. Even though we've also known that Deputy President is also eyeing, for him, he needs a big percentage from Gema, and Raila, we told, needs more than 30% or somewhere there. So I want us to look at that now in the comparison to Kambani, because Kambani is also very interesting. Kitui has 530,000 votes. Then this is Makueni, has 470. Machakos has 400,000 votes. Now, the total number of voters there is 1.7. But remember all this, the voters register is now been submitted to verification and is being audited, so the numbers might change. If they turn out 90%, and the 90% turnout is in the event that they are given the running mate, they will have 1.5 people voting. Raila might get 1.3, and I've put this assuring that Deputy President William Ruto, who has also made some inroads and is having a lot of political machinery in the country, can maybe get 200,000 from this. So Raila will get 1.3 million from Ukambani if he picks Kalonzo Musyoka as the running mate. That would be in the event that now Raila has 1.3 million. This one, he has picked Kalonzo Musyoka as the running mate. But this is the catch. For him to win the election, he needs both the 1.3 from Ukambani and 1.1 from Gema. If he gets this 1.1 and this, I'm telling you it is done. So what is needed is this. I think Kalonzo and Raila should first stick together and use the 2017 and 2013 as a baseline as they go towards the 2022 general election. In 2017-2013, Raila has been getting the range of 43 to 44%. Now, if they can stick together, it will be more likely that they are going to add something into that basket. That is why I still insist that if Kalonzo is so much into Raila's presidency, I think he should then allow Raila to go for the running mate in central Kenya, but still he campaigns for Raila in Kitui, in Ukambani. Now, this is what is interesting. It will be very easy for Kalonzo to convince Ukambani to vote for Raila, even if he's not a running mate, than Uhuru to convince Gema to vote for Raila if Raila do not have a running mate from Gema. And I think that is the conversation that we need to put. I want to agree that the numbers, yes, Kalonzo has more numbers here. If he's a running mate, he has more numbers because even the Kamba community are all over. They are also in the other parts. They are also in Nairobi, in Mombasa, in Taita Taveta and the other areas. So it will be highly influenced. But also, the president, Raila taking running mate as a gamer here is also going to attract more votes, not just within these counties, but the other counties. So this is what I really think are the parameters that need to be given consideration. So what do you think should be done? I have come out with three issues that needs to be on table as Raila, Kalonzo and Uhuru sits to decide on the running mate. Number one is to manage voter apathy. Managing voter apathy will be very critical because, for one, if the turnout in central Kenya goes beyond 60%, for example, if they have a 50%, Raila is likely to get even 500,000. That is likely also in Ukambani. If the turnout is low, then this might even go more than 1.3, less than 1.3%. And by the way, politicians need to get worried here. What is manifesting in the nominations, and as things go by, government is unpopular, people seem to be very tired, and they feel like government is the cause of all problems. So many people might even refrain. I don't think even the nominations is a big issue. Nominations have been here, and people will actually just heal and move on. So that will be number one, to manage voter apathy. Number two, it must take, and it will take, the President Uhuru Kenyatta to play an active role in the presidential campaigns. He must play an active role for two things. One, to increase Raila's basket from Mount Kenya. I saw Kimani, I think Wambugu, saying that Raila has 10%. If he picks a running mate, it will go to 30. Then if Uhuru hits the road to campaign, it will go to 50. That is a very good hypothesis. But I want to challenge it by saying that it will only take that to Raila to get 40%. He cannot get 50%. Let's not lie. He can get 40. All these fellas, if someone is not going to be given a running mate, you must give a tangible, and it will be, if you're giving someone a chief minister, I don't know how it will be insured, but it must be highly insured. Because if it is highly insured, that is the only condition that can allow Kalonzo Musyoka to sit ground for the running mate position. But it should not be a peki-pong game like what is happening about the dates, why you want to fix someone, akishaingia kwa box, then the dates surpass, he's not a candidate, then you pick a running mate. I don't think that is it. The three things has to be put into place. Talking about the opinion poll, I don't think that is the way to go.